The text came in just as I was reviewing the latest quarterly reports for my resort chain. Pack casual clothes for the beach house this weekend. Nothing fancy, it's just family. Typical Regina. Even her reminders came wrapped in condescension. If only she knew. I'm Sarah Chan, 34, founder and CEO of Sapphire Bay Resort Group. But to my in-laws, I was just Michael's wife who worked somewhere in hospitality. A hotel receptionist. Maybe. I never corrected them. Let them stay comfortable in their assumptions. They didn't know I built a luxury resort empire from a rundown beachfront motel 10 years ago. When I met Michael at a hotel management conference, I was already successful but discreet. He was kind, charming, and seemed refreshingly disinterested in wealth. I decided to keep my title to myself. Let them get to know me for who I am, I told him. He agreed, though I often caught him squirming when his family made snide remarks about my little job. Every summer, Regina orchestrated the same charade. A week at the most extravagant house in Sapphire Bay flagship resort. She loved to boast about treating the family to luxury. She never knew the payments lined my account. I let her have her moment for 5 years. But this year, something changed. 2 months ago, during a family dinner, I overheard Regina and Amanda whispering in the kitchen. "It's time Michael traded up," Regina said, unaware I was nearby. That Jessica from his office would be perfect. Her father practically owns half the city. Sarah's sweet, but she's just not our caliber. This beach trip will show Michael the difference between class and, well, you know. My hand slipped into my pocket, closing around the resort's master key card. My name and title gleamed on it. Time for a different kind of vacation. I arrived Friday afternoon via my private access road. The staff who knew exactly who I was prepared the house to my specifications. I changed into a sundress, the kind Regina would call cheap, and waited. They pulled up in a caravan of luxury vehicles. Regina's Mercedes led the way. Michael kissed my cheek, while his mother surveyed the property like she owned it. Amanda arrived with her husband and Jessica. Her swimsuit probably cost more than Regina thought I earned in a year. "Sarah, dear," Regina said with forced cheer, "help Maria with the luggage, won't you?" She gestured to their overworked housekeeper. "Actually," I replied, smiling, "Maria has the afternoon off. I've arranged butler service." Her eyes narrowed. "And who's paying for that?" "Oh, don't worry, it's covered." Regina's plan unfolded predictably. Jessica was glued to Michael's side. I was strategically ignored. Michael said nothing. That evening, on the terrace, Regina struck again. "Sarah, be a dear and check the air conditioning in the east wing. You know these things, hospitality and all." She turned to Jessica. "Tell Michael more about your father's new development project." My phone buzzed security's nightly update. I excused myself and stepped inside. Through the window, I saw Jessica laughing at something Michael said. His smile made my stomach turn. The report included a curious clip. Regina and Amanda in the kitchen, adding something to my water glass. Liquid laxative, most likely. Sodo. I sent a text to my head of security. Proceed with Protocol 17. When I returned, Regina was mid-performance. "Really, Sarah, that Target dress, we have standards here, right, Michael?" He stared at his plate. Jessica smirked. "You know," Regina continued, "this house is getting cramped. Sarah, maybe you'd be more comfortable at one of the budget hotels in town." I looked at Michael, waiting. "Honey," he mumbled, "Mom has a point." The terrace doors opened. John, my head of security, entered with 2 uniformed officers. "Mrs. Chen," he said formally, "is everything in order?" Regina shot up. "Who are you, Sarah? Deal with this immediately." I reached into my purse and pulled out my master key and a badge. "Actually, Regina, I'm dealing with it. As owner and CEO of Sapphire Bay Resorts, I'm canceling your reservation." Silence. "Owner," Regina gasped. "Yes," I said, "all 17 properties, including this one, and, since you violated several terms of the rental agreement including attempted poisoning, I'm evicting you." Amanda stammered. "But, you're a hotel clerk. No, that's just what you chose to believe. I let you, and now, you've shown me exactly who you are. I turned to Michael. His expression was blank. You'll be hearing from my lawyer about the divorce. To Jessica, update your resume. I just acquired majority shares in your father's firm. Your job ends tomorrow. Regina's voice cracked. You can't do this. We have a contract. One you clearly didn't read. John, please escort our guests out. Their things will be sent to a motel in town. And with that, I picked up my wine glass and turned back to the view. I paused. Though I should warn you, we own every luxury property within 50 miles. You might want to try the Motel 6. You've been lying to us for years. Regina shrieked as security moved to clear the terrace. No, Regina, I said evenly. I just let you show me exactly who you were. You never asked what I did for a living. Never cared to know. You were too busy trying to replace me with someone who better fit your fantasy of high society. They were ushered toward their cars, Regina still shouting, Amanda crying, Jessica frantically thumbing through her phone. Michael lingered, his expression stricken. Sarah, I didn't know. I looked at him for a long moment. That's the problem, Michael. You didn't want to know. You were so afraid of disappointing your mother. You forgot you had a wife. Good luck with the divorce. No need to worry about a settlement. I've already transferred enough for you to buy a condo. Or maybe your mother's pool house has a vacancy. As their cars disappeared down the private road, I turned to Maria, who stood nearby, stunned. Maria, I said warmly, how would you like to be head of housekeeping for the resort? Full benefits, triple your current salary. Tears welled up in her eyes as she hugged me tightly. Thank you, Mrs. Chen. I can't believe you let them treat you like that for so long. Sometimes, I said, smiling as the sun dipped low over my resort, the best revenge is letting people reveal themselves. Nah, how about we enjoy the dinner they all ignored? The video surfaced 3 days later, likely leaked by someone in the kitchen staff. Regina's dramatic exit from the beach house, screaming, "But we're family," as security walked her to her Mercedes, went viral almost instantly. The internet dubbed it the Beach House Boss Lady incident. Memes exploded. TikToks reenacted it. A lifestyle influencer declared me her new hero. And when someone uncovered Regina's years of bragging on Facebook about gifting her family luxury vacations at my resort, the backlash turned savage. I watched the chaos unfold from my penthouse suite, sipping espresso and reviewing acquisition offers. My phone buzzed non-stop calls from Michael, Amanda, Regina, even a few of their golf buddies. I blocked them all. The only call I took was from Jessica's father. Mrs. Chen, he said stiffly, I believe we need to discuss the recent shift in company ownership. Yes, Mr. Bradford, we do. Particularly your daughter's role in plotting to sabotage my marriage, something I imagine your board will be quite interested in, given the texts between her and Regina. There was a long, satisfying pause. What do you want? For starters, Jessica is to be relocated to the Singapore office immediately. Then, excellent. My legal team will coordinate the merger terms. Good day, Mr. Bradford. The divorce moved quickly. Michael's attorney nearly fainted at the financial disclosures. The ironclad prenup Regina had once mocked turned out to be the best investment I ever made. Michael got what was fair, no more, no less. Regina, meanwhile, tried to salvage her reputation with a teary local news interview. She called me deceptive, said she'd been blindsided. My PR team responded by releasing the kitchen security footage, Regina and Amanda tampering with my drink. The headlines wrote themselves. Mother-in-law's poison plot exposed in viral beach meltdown. Family feud at Sapphire Bay. You won't believe who owns the resort. Amanda tried to broker peace, appearing uninvited at my office. Sarah, please, she pleaded. Mom's been humiliated. The country club iced her out. Her charity board asked her to resign. Can't you make this stop? I looked up from the resort acquisition I was finalizing, coincidentally. The same property Regina had boasted about booking for next year's vacation. Make what stop? The consequences. Or the truth? We didn't know who you were. Exactly. And you didn't care. You don't need to know someone's net worth to treat them with decency. I turned my laptop screen toward her. By the way, I just bought Vista Dummer. Tell your mother she'll need a new venue. The ripple effects were swift. Regina's kingdom of curated appearances and country club cliques collapsed. The same women who once laughed at her digs toward me now whispered behind her, back often while sipping cocktails in my hotels. Michael showed up one last time, wearing the suit from our wedding. I miss you, he said quietly. I was wrong. Yes, you were. I kept my tone even. Not just once, Michael, repeatedly. Every time you let them diminish me. Every time you stood by and said nothing. I didn't know you owned all this. That's the problem. You needed to know. It should have been enough that I was your wife. I stood, smoothing my jacket. Goodbye, Michael, and please return your key card on the way out. I was your wife. Michael left my office with his shoulders slumped, finally realizing what he truly lost. It was never about the money. The prenup had made sure of that. What he lost was my trust, my respect, and any future he might have had with me. 6 months after the beach house incident, I hosted a charity gala at my flagship resort. We raised millions for educational scholarships for hospitality workers. Mariano, head of housekeeping services, gave a heartfelt speech about opportunity and second chances. There wasn't a dry eye in the room. Regina tried to purchase a ticket. Her payment was refunded with a simple note: we reserve the right to refuse service. The media coverage was relentless. Outlets that once called me lucky or socially strategic now hailed me as a visionary. A top business journal featured me in their Women in Leadership issue. Looking back, I told the interviewer, I'm almost grateful for how they treated me. It taught me everything I needed to know about character and how people behave when they think you're beneath them. That lesson now guides every part of our company culture. The article went viral. Applications to work at my resort tripled. I instituted a new hiring policy. Any hint of entitlement or elitism during interviews meant immediate disqualification. 1 year later, I received an invitation to Michael and Jessica's engagement party. Apparently, she'd returned from Singapore and they'd reconnected. The venue, one of the few luxury properties in the region I didn't own. I sent a gift, a framed copy of the rental agreement from that fateful weekend specifically. The clause about behavior-based eviction highlighted. My note read, "Congratulations, may your new family treat each other better than your last one treated me." Later, I heard Regina had sold her beach house, the same one she obsessed over for years, trying to match the Sapphire Bay aesthetic. The buyer, one of my shell companies. It's now a wellness retreat for overworked hospitality workers. Sapphire Bay Resorts evolved into more than just a luxury brand. We became known for our culture where every employee, from dishwasher to executive, was treated with dignity, guest mistreatment of staff, zero tolerance, period. Maria's daughter became our first scholarship recipient. She's now enrolled at Cornell, pursuing hotel management on a full ride. Where Regina's friends complained about that decline in exclusivity due to our progressive policies, I quietly revoked their loyalty memberships. They were no longer welcome. 2 years later, while reviewing an acquisition, my assistant flagged something. Mrs. Chen, one detail: this country club still has a few legacy memberships. One of them belongs to a Mrs. Regina Wallace. I smiled. Please notify Mrs. Wallace that under new ownership, all memberships are subject to review. Her presence may make other members uncomfortable. Her own words, returned with precision. The termination letter was delivered the same day. She received an invitation to Michael and Jessica's wedding hosted at a budget hotel ballroom. Apparently, Jessica's father's new posting in Singapore hadn't worked out as planned. I donated Regina's refunded membership fee to the scholarship fund. The recipient, Maria's youngest daughter, she dreams of opening her own resort someday. Sometimes, sitting in my penthouse office overlooking the ocean, I think back to that last family dinner. The looks on their faces, the realization that the woman they dismissed had been holding the power all along. But here's what I've learned. True power isn't wealth. It isn't status. It's self-respect. It's treating everyone from CEOs to cleaning staff with the same dignity. It's never letting someone else define your worth. Regina still drives past the resort occasionally. I've seen her car slow at the gates. She stares at the sign with my name on it. Maybe she finally understands. Her mistake wasn't underestimating my wealth. It was underestimating my worth. The beach house is now my favorite private retreat. I kept one item from that infamous dinner. The wine glass Regina tried to spike. It's displayed in a glass case in my office, a reminder that success isn't just about money. It's about holding your head high while others reveal who they really are. Last week, I received a letter. Inside was a wedding invitation from Michael and a handwritten note. I know you won't come, but I wanted you to see what rock bottom looks like. You were right about everything. And sorry I didn't see it sooner. I replied on official, sapphire bay letterhead. Congratulations. I've booked you the honeymoon suite at our Singapore property. Consider it my gift, a reminder that class has nothing to do with money. The suite, of course, doesn't exist. But I imagine they'll figure that out when they arrive. After all, some lessons are best learned the hard way.